So today's video is actually going to be something completely different, unlike anything I've ever done before. It is actually a video about acting. It's going to have my first acting audition in it, and then a clip of the first part in a short film I've ever done. And I am so excited to show you guys this. I've been kind of toying with the idea of adding in acting into a part of my channel and just like talking about my experiences, and so I might do a specific video talking about this acting experience and stuff. However, I just wanted to show the clips today, and it's kind of a serious topic. So a little background on the short film. It's about like 7 people who died, and a couple of them, like, they all died in different ways, and I was chosen for suicide. So this is a very touchy topic. It is very personal, so if you are going through some sort of depression with suicidal thoughts or anything, I don't know if you should necessarily watch this video. I drew from my experience of dealing with those thoughts and dealing with that issue. But I took it as a side of I've recovered and kind of got myself back on a good track. So it does have my different thoughts, and this is kind of a hard topic to share about, and it's very personal and totally different for everybody. So keep that in mind when you're watching it. Know that these ideas, you might not necessarily agree with all of them, but those are the ones I chose to use for my short film. And acting is all about being real and honest, as well as kind of raising topics that really should be talked about in the everyday world that necessarily aren't always totally agreed upon. And so I totally understand if you disagree with what I have to say in the video, and I just want you to go in knowing that people all think differently about this, and I don't mean to like belittle anything you're feeling by what I say. That was just like some experience, but mostly just acting going into that, and everyone's take on this subject is very different, and it does depend on your status in the journey through this, if you're going through something in this realm. So just watch it warily, and please don't like destroy me in comments or anything. I love you all, and let's get into the clips.
So what was your breaking point where you finally decided that you were going to commit suicide?
I wish I could give you an answer that was clear-cut, like one terrible event happened and all of a sudden there was no point in me living anymore. That's what people like to hear. It's easier. It's nice to be able to blame one person, one event, one traumatic thing that made their kid not want to live anymore. But I can't say that, because it's not true. It was 5 years. 5 years of my life I spent hating life. A little part of me died every day for the past 5 years before I died, because I hated it every second. I pretended constantly to be happy, to be someone that other people could like, someone who wasn't depressed. But that's not true at all. I broke. I couldn't do things. There were days I didn't want to get out of bed. It was too hard to face the world. Putting on a smile was one of the hardest things, because it was probably one of the biggest lies I told every day of my life. For 5 years, I pretended to be happy. There's nothing harder than that, than lying to yourself, to your friends, to your family. And at some point, it's pointless. I didn't want to die. That wasn't my goal, was to die. My goal was to stop living the pain. So I killed myself, because that was the only way to get rid of it. So.
If you could tell your parents one thing now that you are no longer with them, what would it be?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was a terrible daughter. I'm sorry that I couldn't even make it through sophomore year of high school. I'm sorry that you'll never see me get married and you'll never have grandchildren. I ruined their chance at a lot of things. As their only daughter, you know, now they don't have anything. I can see everyone from where I am here. I can't talk to them, but I can see them. And there's no way to recover when your kid kills themselves. Part of you dies too. No one deserves that. Especially not my parents. I don't think they could ever forgive me, but if I could say one more thing to them, I'd say I'm sorry. Please stop crying, because it still breaks my heart every day.
What more could people, like your friends and family, what more could they have done to help you?
Nothing. Because I didn't tell them. I wouldn't let them in. I wouldn't let anyone in. I locked myself in a box inside of myself and hid every part of my personality as far inside as possible, and then spent years perfecting this persona of happiness and hiding everything about myself. And no one can do anything when they don't know something's wrong. And I would never let anyone see anything that was wrong. You know, I don't even think my parents knew I had depression. I wouldn't tell them anything. They couldn't do anything about it. The blame shouldn't be on someone else. The blame's on me. I was the one who needed to fix it. I was the one who had the power to change my own life. But I gave up. And I acted as if it was their fault. But it wasn't. It was 100% mine. And I wish I could tell them that it wasn't their fault. People still blame themselves when others commit suicide. They shouldn't. The only one to blame when someone kills himself is themselves. Because if someone else killed them, it was murder. And no one killed me, except for me. I had so much going for me. I had the perfect life. All the friends, the great boyfriend, a perfect family that had everything. But I wasn't happy. And people don't get that. People don't understand that you can have it all and hate everything about it. Because I didn't want it all. I didn't ask for it all. I asked for happiness, and I never got that. I tried so hard to be happy. I really did. And maybe if I had talked to someone, maybe if I had asked for help, maybe if I had told one of those perfect friends, they could have just made me like them, as happy as they were. But I didn't. And I regret that. I regret not talking to people. I regret taking my life before asking for help. But I can't go back. I'm sorry, but I just can't.